was thinking what kind of song to write for the year 2001. Should I compose a nation building song or just blaze them politicians? But when I hear Pandey get 19 seats and he run and give a speech of victory, I tell myself something wrong, so I compose this song for kinky head people like me, because I don't understand what's really happening. For years me crooks and panther was busting we liver string. Well, I honestly believe the message was loud and clear, but the results from the elections proved to me stick breaking black man air. They don't hear. So don't expect me to jam your prime minister.
No, don't tell me.
I stopped drinking bush tea for your fever.
I said no, don't tell me.
Cause you ain't do it once, but you did it twice. Elections gone, is you choose Barabbas in front of Christ. So if you notice your little daughter bringing home a grand, because Camilla sent she to a school inside the Bitam, and when she bring home the baby father, the man like more sex than Pandey. Please don't stop me in the road to complain, cause I have nothing to say. My personal comments I will reserve.
You got a government you deserve.
To complain to me now, but you got some nerve. You got a government you deserve.
I want to say a pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today being Wednesday, the 25th day of June.
I try my best to put sense in black man head. The consequence I was not afraid. But when I see Keith and Daphne on TV, deep in my heart I felt betrayed. Cause I remember in 1998 I got chastised when I sing my song. But if I did like game, I would have take out she name and deceitfully win me crown. UNC corrupt like hell, but Satma Raj wouldn't say so. As black man open me mouth, he find that Manning should go. To these negative response from the black man, I'm not surprised, because I've come to one conclusion: today black man is his own demise. He ain't wise. So don't tell me nothing about the EBC.
No, don't tell me.
Because I know some of you vote for NDC.
I said no, don't tell me.
Don't tell me that they cancel the URP.
And how they catch a minister in Grandans concerning bribery.
So if you end up just like a criminal on the run,
and yeah, people in PHQ, all they having is fun.
and civil servants can't get it back pay.
Plus pensioners don't get back pay.
Please don't stop me in the road to complain, cause I wouldn't be amazed. My little knowledge now I must preserve.
You get a government you deserve.
To protest of them now it take plenty nerve.
You get a government you deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, just run through the What's Happening file. Green Screens promotion on the 27th of July.
It's from the
Presents 50 Shades Darker. That's a day cruise.
me inspiration,
This will be about the Kayak Princess.
courage,
$85 for regular.
politician.
$300 for the VIP.
See your support
Get your tickets right now at Chucky's Bar.
and donate.
Spice Mobile.
It's like
Use Salmon
full
Guar.
glass of milk.
Check them out right now and get your tickets, alright?
And they call businessmen parasitic oligarchies.
This Saturday,
But to
St. George's Northwest constituency,
the good buddies,
they will be presenting a breakfast and barbecue luncheon.
to put him back.
This will be taking place at the Boucheju Community Center,
Eralma,
starting from 7 a.m. until
man, what's that?
$20 for your breakfast.
Oh, bruh.
You want barbecue also on luncheon? You can get that also.
Caroni going through hell
No, don't tell me.
You're thinking about fitness for the summer?
and into cell.
Then you can check out Fitness Revolution 11.
Tell me not
Follow me,
in court.
starting from the 7th of July to the 31st
Never
of July.
the blood of rice they steal. But if you notice, Carlos have a brand new Beamer, and he delay delay the process till he come a minister. And you hear he got millions in cutback from the Miss Universe show as a gift. Please don't stop me and ask me to confirm, because I plead in the fifth. My little crocodile tried to preserve.
You get a government you deserve.
Ask Manning how much money he left reserve. You get a government
You deserve.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take this one down because we want to get into the conversation really early this afternoon. Yes. And today, I'm putting you guys on spot. Yeah. Today, I want you guys to get a little bit interactive with me. Feel free to call in. The number is going across the screen. You can call me only on WhatsApp. Yeah, only on WhatsApp. You can call me on 418-3702. Yes, 3702, and you definitely can get me on my WhatsApp. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, the conversation in which we will dive in today, or what we would start by diving in today, is one that every time I touch this screen, every time I touch this screen, no matter how I turn, I'm getting the same results. That man I love too much, boy. That man could hug up and think too much. That man love. That boy love strong like. Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, I want to touch on something very quickly. I don't know how many of you guys follow me on my actual Facebook page, at the Royalty James's page. I normally post all sort of things there, so if you guys want to follow further in terms of information, because that's where I do most of my posting on political issues. Yes, really, you guys can jump over there. Yes, but you see, I said last night on my Facebook page, AI would be blamed for everything, because when they can't blame AI, they blame NNP, and when they can't blame NNP, they blame AI. Yeah, but it is amazing, ladies and gentlemen, the manner in which these guys go about finding ways to the way these guys go about doing and saying things. And you see, they would blame the NNP for everything. Eh? But this morning I was intrigued when somebody drew to my attention. They say, listen to this. I want you to listen to something. Go and listen to something. Yeah? So I went along and I listened to it. But I want you guys to get a little listen to. You know, I'm not a greedy person. I want to share this with you guys. Listen this here.
Clearly, that if you're a Grenadian citizen, you're 18 years of age, and you reside in a constituency, you have a right to get registered. You're entitled to that. Who the hell you are? So you have some of those registration officers, some of them 80-something years, some of them 70-something years, and the majority of them were appointed by the NNP during the NNP time in office, right? So they play in the political game, and this damn fool, look at this guy. You're making yourself a bloody clown. That's what you're doing. What's wrong with you? I thought better of this guy. The guy dunce. The guy dunce when it comes to his duty and so on. Who the hell are you? You know, so up to now, this guy looking for the 12 months thing and all this jackassery they've been telling people when they go to get registered. You can't find it, you know.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you, it gets even better in Grenada, Cargo, and PD Martinique. Yeah, because I'm giving you a few. I'm giving you guys a few before I really jump on what I want to speak about. Because let me first say the individual. I want to ensure that I get the information out there. And let's see. All right, hold on. Let me just ensure that I get it right, and then we.
And this is Act 35 of 1993. It's a mouthful. Okay? Mm-hmm. So Part 3 says, the right of a person to vote. Subject to this act, a person is entitled to vote in an election in a constituency if on polling day he is qualified and registered as an elector in that constituency and his name appears on the current list to be used for that constituency. Okay? Section Part 6 says entitlement to registration. Subject to Section 7, a person shall be entitled to be registered as an elector in any constituency if he, 1, is a citizen of Grenada, 2, B, A, citizen of Grenada, B, a Commonwealth citizen who resides in Grenada for a period of at least 12 months immediately before the date of his registration. Now, I want us to pay very close attention to that B part of that statement. All right? Who resides?
So, ladies and gentlemen, let me get to the nitty-gritty of what I really want to get to, because maybe you guys are wondering, well, why is royalty playing this? First off, this section of law is very vivid. It's very clear. It's a clear piece of legislation, right? But we heard, as per usual, in any way, shape, or form, that you can get to castigate the NNP, you would do so. We know that is the norm. We know that is going to come. Yeah? So, you mentioned that those persons were appointed by the NNP and registration officers and so on. But ladies and gentlemen, I am taking from the No Grenada page. And the headline says, Governor General appoints new supervisor of elections. Dated the 29th of May, 2024. Governor General appoints new supervisor of election on the 29th of May, 2024. If my math serves me right, we are just over 1 year and close to about 1 month, maybe 4 days shy of 1 month, 1 year and 1 month, as it relates to the appointment of the supervisor of elections. So 1 year ago, the powers that be saw it was fit or fitting to get a new supervisor of elections. And so, I am of the belief, how it usually happens, is that on the advice of the Prime Minister, he will then, or the Governor General will then, vet and approve the supervisor of elections. Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Cecil Lagranade, has appointed a new supervisor of election. Mr. Arthur Pierre took the oath of office earlier today and was given his instrument and appointment by the Governor General. Mr. Pierre, a qualified teacher, brings to the office a wealth of experience, having worked in the Ministry of Education and Health. He is a former drug control officer and an HIV and AIDS advocate. Mr. Pei has a public officer, has been a public officer for the last 30 years and is currently the Deputy Disaster Coordinator at the National Disaster Management Agency. The newly appointed Supervisor of Election also served as a presiding officer with the parliamentary officer for years. He officially takes up office on the 1st of June. So it means that officially his duty started 1 year and 24 days ago. And one day, I don't like all your message me when I'm in my zone, you know. Yes? So ladies and gentlemen, 1 year and 24 days thereafter, believe it or not, with such accolades given in the name or to the name of the individual, a podcaster, a pundit that is take with the present administration says that this ban, well, I don't want to say it, but I have to say this.
If you're a Grenadian citizen, you're 18 years of age, and you reside in a constituency, you have a right to get registered. You're entitled to that. Who the hell you are? So you have some of those registration officers, some of them 80-something years, some of them 70-something years, and the majority of them were appointed by the NNP during the NNP time in office, right? So they play in the political game, and this damn fool, look at this guy. You're making yourself a bloody clown. That's what you're doing.
Let me pause this, because at the end of the day, birds of a feather flock together. And to get to what he's speaking on, again, when you have persons, quote unquote, not being, how should I put it, in the most nicest way, they are not educationally fuzzy on what and when to read and understand the legislation of the state. Because what makes you a Grenadian citizen is one of the most important questions. Yes? The second question to be asked, what are the countries that makes up the Commonwealth? But the gentleman would have read a few, but I'll go through the entire thing and I'll help you all to understand what the gentleman is saying, because I don't think he was as dunce and as stupid as he's been now outlined. So let me just bring some light to what the gentleman is saying, because you can listen to just a little piece or something, yeah, and not understand what the legislation speaks to. So if you don't understand legislation and law and the manner in which it must be brought forward, let me assist you, my dear brother. So in this section that the gentleman would have spoke about, it is the entitlement to registration. Nobody says nothing about voting as yet. Nobody says nothing about voting as yet. Based on the section that the gentleman would have spoken on is the entitlement to registration, being able to register. Because the first act speaks to the right of a person to vote. That omits the conversation of being able to register. In order to vote, you must register, right? So, subject to section 7, a person shall be entitled to be registered as an elector in any one constituency if the individual is a citizen of Grenada. Question to be asked: what makes an individual a citizen of the state? Yes, what makes an individual a citizen of the state? And let me get it for you. Because there is a lot. Yeah, there's a few things that must be outlined. Certain, well, there is certain citizens and certain requirements in certain countries what you need. You understand me? Grenadian national law is regulated by 1975 Grenadian Constitution as amended, the Citizens Act and its revision, and the various British national laws. These laws determining who is or is ineligible to be a national and somebody of Grenada, right? Right. Grenadian nationals is typically obtained either on a principle of just solely, meaning you're born in Grenada, or under the rules just sanniness. Yeah? That is whether or not you're born abroad but you have parents in Grenada. Yeah? It also is being granted by persons with an affiliation to the country or to a permanent resident who has lived in the country for a given period of time through naturalization. There is also current programs in Grenada where we're going into the CBI conversation, and nationals establishing one's international identification as a member of a sovereign nation. that is not synonyms with citizenship or rights granted under domestic law or domestic purpose. The United Kingdom and the Commonwealth have traditionally used those words interchangeably. Grenadians was previously associated state with the United Kingdom and so on and so forth. But we can go on. Over a time, colony was granted more autonomy and gradually became independent from the United Kingdom. Although Grenadian citizens are no longer British, they continue to hold favorable status when they reside in the United Kingdom. Right? So we can go on and on as it relates to that. But I want to get to the point that I want to get at. Now, that if you are a citizen of Grenada, a Commonwealth citizen who has resided in Grenada for a period of at least 12 months. He said the gentleman didn't get it, he was looking for it. But subsection 1B of the section 6, so section 6 1B, clearly states the period that the individual must be living here. So when he said the gentleman is looking for it, then the section itself clearly states is a Commonwealth citizen who has resided in Grenada for a period of at least 12 months immediately before the date of his registration. You understand me? So that is the 12 months he said the gentleman didn't get. Well, I get it for the gentleman. And he's speaking persons of a Commonwealth nation. Understand me? He's speaking of countries of where? A Commonwealth nation. Right? He goes on to says, has attained the age of 18 years. Right? And ordinarily resides in that constituency. Subsection 2 says, for the purpose of registration under this act and the rules, a person is deemed a subject to this act to reside in a polling division in which he has ordinarily resided immediately prior his registration. So this individual cannot come and spontaneously go to a polling division and get registered. You must have been residing there for a specific time. A person is not ordinarily residing in a polling division if he has taken up residence in that polling division for the purpose of engaging in an employment or a temporary seasonal character. Right? So an individual cannot leave St. Andrews, and because they are a chef at Radisson that you're renting in Kellis, and you can simply say, let me register to vote down here. No. The law is saying no. And that is individuals within the state. Yeah? Subsection 3 is speaking as it relates to persons who are going to reside in a polling division or area and just to take up residence in the polling division for the purpose of engaging in any employment or a temporary seasonal character. Right? Subsection 4 says, for the person of registration under this act and the rules, a person may ordinarily reside only in one polling division at a particular time. All this, ladies and gentlemen, must take up a 12-month period. So it's not just saying once you're a citizen of Grenada, you could just register to vote. Don't let these fellas fool you with that. Don't let these fellas fool you with that. Because the section did not end at saying Section A is a citizen of Grenada. No. It didn't end there. He went down further and he gave specification. So it's not just saying, okay, I live in Grenada, I am a Grenadian, and I can just register to vote. No. So what the gentleman was explaining, Mr. Pear, even if he's categorized as foolish or whatever, I would not go there. But what he's saying, and if the individual himself understands what the law speaks to, it specifies not just saying Grenadian, because I am a Grenadian. But if I leave to go and in Guave, because I have a girlfriend in Guave, yes, and I'm just there in the area, I cannot just go and register and vote. That is not how it works. So to just say, because you is a Grenadian, you could vote. No. Don't be fooled by that. And even if it speaks to Commonwealth, it says for a period of at least 12 months. So if Vincentian is in Grenada, right? And 8 months he or she is here. And maybe government give him a little work. And then they push him to go and register. That is a no-no. So don't just let, you see, when you don't, when you just, sometimes you're passing through. And you just hear that and you go say, hey, but once you're a Grenadian, but you see these guys don't give themselves the opportunity to learn. Yeah? So they want to sound intelligent, but they're sounding intelligent ignorantly because they don't understand. So you would just tell an individual, watch, you're a Grenadian, go and register. It is not like that. It is definitely not like that. You're a Commonwealth citizen, hey, go on. No, it's not like that. So don't believe the statement of you are Grenadian, go and register. It's not so. So don't be listening to these things and all, oh, you're a Grenadian, go and vote. No. The law gives specification. Registration of electorates, it is there. It is there. The right of a person to vote now says, subject to the act, a person is entitled to vote in an election in a constituency if on polling day he is qualified and registered as an elector in that constituency and his name appears on the current list to be used for that constituency. So ladies and gentlemen, you heard it there. Gentleman would have been explaining, but he said the gentleman was searching, but the law is there. The law is there. No. What does that do to citizens that are Grenadians? Yes? And you're registered as a Grenadian. You're registered in Grenada, but you're living in the United States. No. There are some specifics to that piece of legislation. And you have not been here for a year or 2 years and you're coming to vote. Yes, there are conversations surrounding that. That we can discuss in another forum. Yeah, that we can discuss in another forum. But as of now, don't just believe, quote unquote, I am Grenadian. I am Grenadian, so I am going to vote. The sections would have been, well, the section is section 6, yes, subsection 1, and he has A to D. You understand me? So, cross your T's and dot your I's. Don't take it from these guys and them and jump up and bawl and say yes and yes and yes. Don't be fooled. All right? We're going to jump into our next one. Yesterday we had maths class. I feel today we have a law class. Yeah? So we're going to jump into some things again. Finance Minister Dennis Cornwall has announced the escape clause of the Fiscal Resilience Act, which triggered after following Hurricane Beryl's passage, will remain in effect until 2027, or approximately 3 years after the hurricane. This means that the government will not have to comply with the fiscal rules of the Fiscal Responsibility Act until the same year that the general election is constitutionally due. Now, we're hoping that Brother Con had a little slip at the tongue. Yes? I want to say that this, ladies and gentlemen, is utter nonsense. Government can't still effectively do this, exceeding 2 and 3 years after the passage of a hurricane. Yes? Now, what the Fiscal Resilience Act speaks to in Section 9 of the 2023 Act 11197 2023 Act of Grenada says, the minister may, by order subject to negative resolution, suspend the public debut, target, and primary balance rule under subsection of Section 8 at any time during the fiscal year where any of the following occurs. So, based on what the minister, quote unquote, alleged to have said, you must have one of the following that have triggered that piece of legislation. Understand? Because I want person to understand. The only how, and that Fiscal Resilience Act speaks to, if government triggers this, government would not be able to maybe give raise a pay, they would be able to push in every time that they're going to ask for or borrow or get grants. This piece of legislation would give them the opportunity to have the leeway to say, watch me, don't bring nothing on the table. Yeah? But however, the only things that could trigger that piece of legislation and can extend it are as follows. Yes, Section 1 subsection A1 speaks to a major economic shock resolution from, and that's how you can trigger it, a global economic recession or crisis declared by the by IMF, or a disaster arising from a natural hazard. Yeah, a public health epidemic, a war, or any other event, whether national, regional, international. Yeah, so this piece of legislation, those are the things that can trigger it. Yes, a cumulative decline in a real GDP equal to the greater than 3% over the two consecutive fiscal periods, like how when they took office, fact is we could still talk about COVID a little bit, and then they had Hurricane Beryl. Yeah, so that 2-year period, it was okay for them to do that. But you can't extend it to 3 and 4 and 5 years in your own feelings. No, that is not how it happens. As far as we know, the 2 years because the act was actually used after Hurricane Beryl, right? And so thereafter, they could have triggered it, or even before. But at this stage, ladies and gentlemen, for the gentleman to say he want to extend it, or they feel they go extend it for the next 3 years, that is papi show. We ain't go sit down and roll over, because it does not happen like that. It does not happen like that. So I want you guys to understand this clearly, that it does not happen like that. Right? Just want to read a very short one. We're not going to go much into details about this one. This one is a clipping from Sister Linda Stricker's page. Prime Minister of Grenada and political leader of the National Democratic Congress says people who don't vote are given up an opportunity to influence policy. I want to say to people who sometimes say they don't vote or they don't want to vote, I say to them, you have to know that voting actually elects a government, and by virtue of that, that government is going to impact the country by the policy it pursues, he said during an interview on the weekly Heartbeat program. Yeah? Ladies and gentlemen, I know many of you guys had the opportunity to maybe get a little taste in the clip or so today, but I wasn't. Anyway, let me play me back an Alfred again before I jump into that.
So NDC needs to get their act together now and stand up. I'm fed up now with all your stupidness. Don't expect Kim Jones to do every damn thing for all you. Because you have all them big brain people around all you who working for pong and krong and all that kind of damn thing. And you what
All people say about when all people say again about when dance break. All people say when dance break. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, I somebody saying Lord have mercy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a tip of the iceberg. It will get worse. It will get worse. Remember I said that to you guys. It will get worse. They can't help it. They can't help it. It's something that is in them, as old people will say. So they can't change. Somebody getting more, the bread don't cut it. Somebody say, I'll make sure that, I'll show you that not AI. Not AI. So ladies and gentlemen, when I'm on this program here and I'm speaking the facts, they finish joke. Because when we're speaking and we're saying the momentum on the ground that the NNP has created, parliamentary representatives, constituency leads and so on. Yeah? They're on the ground. Recently we have seen Brother Nimrod and Brother Dabrio touching the ground now. When we say to you that it is an effective method, that we are seeing and hearing the cries of the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PG Martinique, and that these guys are realizing that below them the chair is shifting slowly. People are talking. Where they used to pass and get, hey, now they pass, hey. Where they used to have persons pushing out the head and ball, me best PM, they're pulling the window now. So he and all even realize that they are not getting the act together. But when NNP say it, it's NNP that blasting them. So I'm glad this one come out. Telling you, sooner or later, it will get worse. Set up big boys getting money, but they're not doing nothing. Yeah? It's not the first time we're hearing this. It is not the first time we're hearing this. Last time what they said, MPs are not doing their work. That's what they said. So NNP, keep the pressure on. It is effective. We are the only political organization in Grenada that is functioning in the most effective manner. And I am putting this up to anybody in Grenada. Show me another political organization that is operating like the NNP is operating. Watch us move our structure from chairman to PRO to floor members. Look at us from youth, women's arm, our programs. Look at us, our walkthroughs. Yeah? We are present. We are present, NNP. Don't be perturbed. These guys are feeling the effect of the new National Party. The same one they say done. The same one they say anytime Kid Mitchell give up the leadership, the party done. That is the same NNP. Grenada have given you guys 3 consecutive chances, dated back to 1990 to 1995. You all mess it up. They gave you guys a little while to fix it. They give all you a chance again in 2008 to 20. All you mess it up again. And we are 3 years into your governance. 3 years into your governance and it's a set of bull crap. So I'm glad all you saying that. I'm playing it again. Somebody asked me to play it again.
So NDC needs to get their act together now and stand up. I'm fed up now with all your stupidness. Don't expect Kem Jones to do every damn thing for all you. Because you have all them big brain people around all you who working for Pong and Krong and all that kind of damn thing. And you what?
Them big head ones. Those are the one them that they want the transformational headquarters to open. Yeah? They want the headquarters open fast. Yeah? You're playing all your good. When dance break, you don't know pay. You're playing wicked. No, all the time they come in. And then be done. Yeah? Get the act together when again. They're telling you, oh, 3 years, 5 years is not enough to determine the performance of NDC. What? What? Who else ever get more than that? Every time a government is elected in Grenada, Carriacou, and Pidimantnik, the constitutional governance gives them 5 years. Nobody never get more. Show me any political organization in Grenada, Carriacou, and Pidimantnik that was elected on election day and was given constitutionally 10, 6, 15 years to run this country. Show me any one of them. Everyone was elected for 5 years to perform. That's what I know. That is what I know. I've never seen or heard of a government elected in Grenada, Carriacou, and Pidimantnik. And when they're elected, the constitution gives them 10 years. Hurricane could pass. Pandemic, whatever it is. When that 5-year period comes, an election has to be called. So when you come and talk about, oh, just 3 years, and like all you want them to fix the whole of it. That's what they say. We didn't say that. They mandated themselves to regularize the persons within 12 months of getting into office. We didn't say that. So when I look up and tell us, oh, you want NDC to come and fix everything. We didn't tell them to fix it. They said they could fix it. They said they could fix it. Who all are gone to the Prime Minister's head when he said an NDC government would see an end? When it wasn't the Prime Minister, was Cornwall who said it. And don't get me vexed because I go in the archive like I pulled it out yesterday, because I don't know when I go in the archive and I start to pull thing, they just have to run from me. Every time they give all you a chance to govern the state, all you're balling, oh, we didn't get enough. Well, the last time, on the last 2 occasions, they come, they say they don't make nothing in the Treasury. Grenada in a state, the world in a recession, 2008. World in recession. Man building house, not 1 but 2. Man traveling up and down. At one time they want to kick all the chair below the Prime Minister. The past one, the past NDC. People come after that again. They say, oh, look at try. Oh, look, I'm talking about, oh, we're making thing to turn soil so we could get what project Polaroid in 2035. Ready? Hey, bye. The Bible says, we live for today. Live for today. You don't know what tomorrow holds. You know if you have a Grenada in 2035? The Bible says it. It said, live for today, for you know not what tomorrow bring. Live for today. So when you're making plans, make sure the hospital have things in it today, not the one you want to build for 2035. When I get a bus to hold me to and say the hospital coming, my grandmother sick at home, leave her home still and say, hold on, wait, lie down there. The Prime Minister said we go build a hospital in 2035. Or 2030, lie down there. God forbid another pandemic would have passed. You tell the rest of the world, oh, you don't worry, we're good here. A hospital coming. Do a thing now. You can't get medication now, but you're concerned about the hospital 10 years down the road. Want to give people basket again. They want to give people basket again. Come talking now, and you start to be empathetic and sad. And they want people to feel sorry for them. They want people to start to feel sorry for them. Time for that done. You can say to me, ladies and gentlemen, that you have the governance of this state. You have the governance of this state at present. And you're talking about, oh, we didn't get enough time. A pregnant Treasury, $500 million. A hurricane pass, you hardly had to push your hand in the country's coffers. Are they in a little area today, ladies and gentlemen, and a little news clip playing from MTV? Yeah? And a man, they mentioned that the government would have made a payment. Neither of us heard clearly what was said. And then one of the supporters telling me, yeah, government walking. You know what we heard? That government would have paid the CREF, the same thing that they benefited from, that they have continued paying the insurance. That, you know, they're taking big praise for that, you know. But that is the same thing that just pull you out. Well, if you wanted to pull you out again, you have to pay it. You have to pay it. But ladies and gentlemen, to them, that is a big achievement. Let's be honest. Let us be honest. How many normal Grenadians knew of the CREF program or the CREF insurance before that incident would have happened? How many of us? I didn't know. Only because this hurricane passed and we hear about CREF, I get to know about it. I've been honest. I am not going to lie. That is when I get to know about it. That is when I get to know about it. NNP never take no big up on that. Well, only know that they get a little money and they try to push us on the side. We just walk out of the crowd and say, hey, Oshimode, take it easy. We in charge of that. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the facts. Yeah? That is the facts. Well, anyways, moving to another one. What? And I don't know. I wonder if my daddy. I wonder if my dad is on. My dad is on today. It is only Sunday last. My dad and I, in casual conversation, we normally speak for a little while. We had about an hour or so conversation on Sunday about, same politics. And the name that was surrounding is our dear Minister Andy Williams. Watch me. Let me say this. And look at it, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you guys, you got to look at things and understand who is going to be real. Let me say to you, these people within the National Democratic Congress, and I'm not an NDC, but let me say to you, watch the way we treat a Gregory Bowen, Mr. Bola, who else? All members or elder members within the party. That level of respect that is given to them, even to date. Yes, even to date, the level of respect that is given to them. Ladies and gentlemen, this NDC has disrespect. That's a word I could use. The senior members of the NDC and the senior members within the different ministerial positions and which they hold. Brother Cornwall is one of them. So you know the feel kind of sorry for Sister Gloria too. Yeah? But when they get the opportunity to speak, ladies and gentlemen, they are going to speak the truth. Because you know what? To them, what a line for to all you for. I collect me pension, I as a minister collect me big money. What a line for all you for. To me, that's how I feel, Brother Cornwall and them rolling now. What a line for all you for. What I go tell all you? 2-3 years down the road, I gone. What I go tell all you? So Brother Cornwall had a nice interview this morning. No many of you guys heard it, and we were circulating it for the whole day. Because Brother Cornwall grabbed the fella balls again and he squeezed it. Just like Sister Gloria did. Sorry for the ladies and the thing for using that language. But he grabbed it. He grabbed it this morning. And he hold it. And he squeezed it. Squeeze that by balls again. Listen to Brother Cornwall.
The persons who issuing the contracts to those contractors need to basically make sure that they vet these people properly and so on. I've heard stories on the road, which I don't even want to talk about it here right now. Yeah.
Don't talk about it, Brother Cornwall. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about what the story you hear.
Where a guy got money and so on.
Brother Cornwall, don't talk. Watch me. Listen to me. All you hear I tell Brother Cornwall, don't talk about it. You hear telling don't talk about it.
The persons who issuing the contracts to those contractors need to basically make sure that they vet these people properly and so on. I've heard stories on the road, which I don't even want to talk about it here right now. Yeah. Where a guy got money and so on, he put it in an account and so on, and every now and again he goes and take $200 from it and so on. And it doesn't appear on the person's side to be able to continue the project.
I'm playing it again. I don't feel everybody here, Papa. Brother Cornwall, give me again. Hit me with it.
The persons who issuing the contracts to those contractors need to basically make sure that they vet these people properly and so on. I've heard stories on the road, which I don't even want to talk about it here right now. Yeah. Where a guy got money and so on, he put it in an account and so on, and every now and again he goes and take $200 from it and so on. And it doesn't appear on the person's side to be able to continue the project.
Okay. Lionel Richie, come in. Lionel, come in.
So yes, we have one or two houses.
So we have a management problem there to start.
Yes.
I went, for example, in the Limes, got guys to come. We had a meeting on the Limes basketball court, and got guys off the block to come and start to paint, plumbing, electrical, even in Grandlands Valley. Yeah, we have guys like John Del Fletcher, who came in as a young person and just learning some of the stuff in construction. Now he's building houses, he's doing roads.
But then we hire people, they say they could build, and when you see what they build, it's a disaster, next disaster.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh. Sister Gloria, hold it. She play with it a little bit. She didn't do much to it. She what? Sister Gloria, hold it. She play with it a little bit. She say, okay, Mr. Andy, I would not do much to it. Yeah. Sister Gloria play with it a little bit. Brother Cornwall said, no, I don't hold it. I don't play with it. I hold it and I squeeze it. Oh my goodness. Watch me. Watch me. Oh, wait. Wait. Yeah. My little partner sent a message to me. He tell me send that for Andy Williams. Andy, look, my partner.
Thou shalt not steal and thief. Thou shalt not steal.
And thief.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me get serious. Let me get serious. Listen to me. When I'm planning for these programs, I swear to you guys, I just toughen up myself to not laugh. But let me say this. Yo, this is funny. Ladies and gentlemen, it is seriously funny. Seriously funny. Because, you know what? You have two senior officers. Listen to me. Say what you want. These two persons have been around the whole public service ministry, Brother Cornwall and Miss Gloria. Listen, they have nothing to lose. And if you want betterment, speak the truth. Speak the truth. Because just based on what Andy Williams said, yo, you can't say to me, the livelihood, this is not a drain, this is not a back wall, this is not cutlassing, that you go on Granan's coat in the lines and you get two fellas to do electrical and do painting. Come on. This is a lively, this is the house. Somebody has to live in that. For those of us who are homeowners and even renting, you know sometimes how is a headache to have a bad plumbing or bad electrical in your household. As a homeowner, you wake up in the morning to maybe use your restroom and you meet the bathroom flooded. Or you touch a switch and it shock you. Or somebody paying something incorrectly. This is a livelihood of individuals. How can you be playing and making joke with that? For what political gain? You just go on Granan's court, you see two fellas, and you feel that is not the way. And to me, you have to reach to the point where this is not inconsistency. The gentleman is blatantly lying. Blatantly lying. You have the Minister of Finance and a parliamentary representative, plus the minister responsible for housing, telling you that, hey, this program is bad. The program is bad. It is a lot of spending done for little or no good work. And you cannot make joke with that. You cannot play politics with that. How can you? Why should you? This was a great opportunity to call young men, young women throughout the length and breadth of Grenada. Come forward, not just contractors, you know. Half of the contractors don't do the dirty work, we know that. And they're getting the money. They're getting the monies. And what people are getting is next to nothing. So build back better or build back worse. So Hurricane Beryl mash it up. No, the government mashing it up. A great opportunity, suggestively, to have incorporated a nice certification, maybe in painting, maybe in plumbing. You know, give them guys a little crash course. If you want to give them like a stipend, you know, this is what opens avenue for things like this. Some people were displaced during Hurricane Beryl. And a young man who might have been working in a restaurant or somewhere might say, you know what, the government is offering the opportunity for persons to, you know, get a little course and go at a little course and they go put you on a site to do a little house. And a man might just say, you know what, let me grab that opportunity. Economically, it comes back into the state. It's like the money program. You train them, you give them a stipend, and then it comes back. What? The truth, Mitchell, as I was going to say, the lack of wisdom. The lack of wisdom. And these persons are simply painting pictures. But when the truth is being told, you're getting to know it. Somebody asking me if that is true or if that AI. No, they just to ask because sooner or later they're going to say, Brother Conwell. Here next piece one. Here next piece again because this man not only Brother Andy Balls he hold it up. He hold the next one on too. Hold on. Brother Conwell go come in again. Give me tune.
I would like to know the present condition of the Prime Minister residence in Takusi. Could you give us an update on that building and what is taking place there?
Building is carded for renovation. We are hoping that the renovation can commence this year. The team from the Ministry of Infrastructure has been working on improvements to the architectural design and to general renovation. At least from the architectural design, it's mostly internal changes and some additional amenities. Hopefully the work will commence, and we expect that once it commences, within 12 months, it should be complete.
Or the Prime Minister's residence, as some folks would be referred to it as. He stated that it is due for refurbishment and expansion, which is a major project, to say. Is there any idea yet of how much that particular project will cost? And consider it contained in the 2025 budget, to say, folks, I've been hearing the conversation, is it been budgeted for and so forth? Maybe you can offer some clarification on that.
And so to have a figure right now as to what it will cost to basically restore or improve the facility right now, I cannot give you that figure because I'm not involved in actually doing that calculation. I think at some point in time the Ministry of Infrastructure would come up with that particular figure.
I'll pause it there. So how the Prime Minister telling me a project started in 1 year and the Finance Minister has absolutely no clue as to its costing? It was never budgeted for. It has not been presented to the Ministry of Finance. The Prime Minister said he go start this year. Squeezy balls, squeezy balls, squeezy balls.
And so the building needs serious reconstruction and redesigning.
At least from the architectural design, it's mostly internal changes and some additional amenities.
And so to have a figure right now as to what it will cost to basically restore or improve the facility right now, I cannot give you that figure because I'm not involved in actually doing that calculation. I think at some point in time the Ministry of Infrastructure would come up with that particular figure.
Hopefully the work will commence, and we expect that once it commences, within 12 months, it should be complete.
I would like to know.
What about enough? What did we never? No. Ladies and gentlemen, this is crazy. It shows you the inconsistency, or it is a blatant lie. Because those things are a process. Consultation, yeah, site visits, negotiation of the funds to have it built. And the finance minister don't even have a number to say, well, okay, estimatedly 1.2 million to you know, because even if it is passing through his desk, yeah, for to form some form of budgetary process, so he knows by November I have to allocate $1.2 million for X or Y, or there's a grant coming in. Those things he would have an idea about. Somebody say Conwell sound like he fed up. Conwell look fed up. Conwell look fed up. I had a friend of mine had a brief conversation with Mr. Conwell. A few Saturdays back, he was passing in an area, and normally if I'm around and they come around, I don't get involved in no political conversation with them. I don't address them. They say hi, they say hello. I say hi, I say hello. Yeah? But he came around, he was sitting there, and he was speaking to some other persons, and my brethren was there, and he decided to throw the questions towards him, or to him, you know, asking him things. Ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, all I can say, we have it to deal with here in Grenada. And I'm going to say this. there must be a stage where we are going to see for our very own self. Because it's going to fall back in their face. They think that they're hurting Grenadians by doing what they do. Yeah? But it's going to come back to haunt you. 3 years. You have not done anything. 3 years. No, nothing initiated. Nothing. You think you're going to do it in 2? Think it's going to happen in 2? Electorates, your most important judgment going into this next general election, weigh and balance the 5 years of the NNP prior to the, I didn't want to look as far as 2013, go to 2018. With even this country having to deal with a pandemic for almost 2 years. Imagine this. Imagine all the things that they're saying that is in the pipeline and they meet in the pipeline. Some of these projects, most of these projects, were affected some or the other by COVID-19. But yet still, government had grants, government had processes put in place to deal with those issues. So you come in now and you say this government was not operating well, and this government wasn't doing this and they weren't doing that. But since you got there, all you have been doing is doing work that the government had, as you said, standing in the House of Parliament that was in the pipeline. So think about a non-COVID period. Imagine this country during COVID-19, every public servant got a pay and on time. Even Imanis who were doing nothing, they got their salaries for 2 years. The government's revenue was basically placed as a halt. 2 years. And they are performing, or they performed more than this government did in 3 years with no pandemic. They get a hurricane in a portion of the state. This country was dealing with an international problem. Now we just have the issue home here of Hurricane Beryl. We had an international issue to deal with in that of the pandemic. The Prime Minister didn't sit down and just go online. At one point, and he shared this story, Dr. Mitchell shared this story, where at one time he said, my people are too important to me. He went to the face of Trinidad and Tobago and he said, lend me X amount of money. He gave this story, he gives this story all the time. A man who cares, who doesn't care, would have sit aside and say, let them make it how they can. Let them make it how they can. At the end, I think, of 2001 or 2020 or the end of 2020, I'm subjected to correction. Public servants saw a double salary payment during a pandemic under the past administration. Fellas, and they may come in and give a little increase and they want to beat their chest. The economy was stable in a time when nothing was coming in, but government just had to give out. Be it hamper, be it medication, be it whatever, government had to give. They weren't getting in that same period. Young men, young women, teachers alike, persons were given the opportunity to have devices, to have the learning procedure happen within Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique. Come in and tell me about things, and government give free lunch. Government giving free tuition. and government give free lunch, children go and get free lunch. That could suffice for a tablet that was given to every student who could not have afforded it. Or every teacher who was given a laptop to ensure that our nation's children were educated in a pandemic. Huh? I look up and talk about what? They're building road. Taking our very own money. That is like going into the teller machine, and when you get paid from the teller machine, you're clapping the teller machine. Yay! And you're praising your boss when you get paid after you work whole week, a whole month. You're praising your boss, you're the best boss. But you don't realize you work for that. But you're praising government when they build a road, and they build school, and they posting it. The things government do outside of the realm of our very own taxpayers' money is when you should judge them. When they go outside of the realm and ensure that we as a people meet our necessary needs. Yeah? We forget those things. The CES program. Look at my dear sister would have outlined a few. I will read it. Some major things that Grenadians need to question and judge for the next election. What the promise of the prominent workers honored. What happened to the CES program? And where is the evidence of the business venture that came from the distribution of this money? Have this government managed to bequeath insurance money properly? Why is there so many families still living in tent 1 year after the hurricane? And there are much more questions. Somebody want to know? What? You understand me? So when persons want you to come and praise an administration for mere things, CBI program, $500,000, $1 billion, not a project by an investor. Where is an investor investing in Grenada? Where? Under this administration, 11,583 new applicants approved. Where is the investor investing? Go back and ask yourself the question. When they said Dr. Mitchell, when they said Dr. Mitchell was sending passport, when we leave the airport and we're coming up, what we were seeing? Radisson. Huh? Come on, Mo. Silver Sands. Huh? Come on, Mo. Just come on. Huh? Clay Harbor. Where's Clay Harbor today? We had Clay Harbor operating. Yeah? The different housing schemes. Go around and see how what the CBI program and what we interjected into this country in terms of getting Grenada afloat with the CBI money. You could see where you went. What have we seen? A few byroads? More flying? That is what we have seen, ladies and gentlemen. Show me a project. Between the past 5 years, 10 years, Six Senses, Silver Sand, Sanders, Radisson is what they call them now? Radisson. Not Radisson, no. The one lower down, going down for the stretching before you take the airport. Yeah? Investors, you could see them. You've seen them. St. David's get a hotel, you know. St. David's get a hotel. Under NNPL. St. David's. Have the hotel. And you bring the liver project to what all you want. So take it. Look. The conversation of Mount Kuma started with leadership and initiative. Is road. And we're not praising, but we want to speak of the initiative. Dr. Mitchell gives you the story. And he said since a little boy he used to pass in that area, and if he listened to me, to curb the issue that was happening at the time in the Marlene area. He said, we got to walk on that road. We have to walk on that road. Royal Town, thank you. And mind you, that is the bigger names that we know. When you go into the True Blue, Wester Hall areas, there are a lot of persons who have invested in apartment building. For those of you guys don't know, a lot of persons have apartment building and they would have made that accommodation for SGU. Yes? They have made that accommodation for SGU. And so, when you go into those places, there's a lot of little investors here and there. Look at Tongue. When they say, oh, if Michelle only bringing Syrian here. Watch Tongue now. Buildings that are being built or rebuilt by them. They here long. Ask them, you feel like just rich? They're not just rich in Grenada, you know. They here long. And these are their investments. Go and walk through Tongue. See how much new building that have been renovated, and is Indian Syrians that have taken it over. They didn't come 2 years ago. Faces we've known, some leave Grenville, they've gotten and wanting to expand. Those are investment, productive investment. They came here years ago when Olusegun Kid Mitchell selling to them. They are investing today. They are causing the little boys and little girls to get a little $2 in some of the stores. Some of them, they're telling you straight to the tough now. Bad. Imal. Look at me, I'm speaking to you here right now. Let me say to you, in all my years, always walked on the caravans. And if you want to make a little blind down in Granans, one of the one thing you could have tell people in Grenada before, anytime you touch Granans Road, you get in a bus. Now they just standing up an hour, half an hour, 45 minutes, and you can get a bus to go to Grandans if you're in the Lagoon Road, Caranage area in some occasions. What is causing that? How are we dealing with those issues? False praises for stupidness. False praises for stupidness. Inconsistency. Inconsistency. One man giving you one story here, and next one giving you a story there. Let me say to you, tonight we are about to shock the whole of Grenada in the St. Max area. So we are going to give you facts. When we drop it tonight, we will give you facts. It's related to the Bonnet Bridge. But we don't make them take nothing that is not this. They have a nice long clipping that will be dropped soon. Dr. Modest. Yeah? So we will give you facts about that project. You're just coming and, oh, fellas, oh, we come in power. And no, it don't just come. It dates back to 2021. This project. And the application and who made the application. Yeah? We come in with it. Giving all you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this brings me to the end of a week. Yes? Of programming. It definitely was a pleasure to be in your company, and ever so often it is important that we share those information, whether it be information for learning, whether it be information for knowledge, whether it be information that, you know, can be disseminated between you and I and say, find out that or get to know that, you know, those bit of information. Yeah, we definitely will continue doing this. As I promised, the consistency process, as you realize, has started because I've tried to be here every day. Yeah, because if this is what is going to cause electorates to understand more, then I would do so. I would not have the knowledge and not pass it on to you guys. Yeah, I learn from you guys, and if given the opportunity, you can learn from me. There are things that sometimes legislations, whether it be information that you may not understand, and as I said, I have the Facebook page, the WhatsApp group chat, sorry. Yeah, I have the WhatsApp group chat. If you guys can just shoot your number at me, persons who are already in the chat, you can invite persons, maybe send their numbers to me. Yes? Yes? We want to say, continue on that way, continue to share the information. Let's vibe when we have to. Yeah, I realized the group chat just started, and there's a lot of information that is passing through and from. Yeah, and that is very, very important. Yes, I want to say thanks to the persons who are here for the first time. If you're returning and you enjoyed, I know one person came in yesterday and they enjoyed. Yeah, they did enjoy the process. Yes, so definitely we are going to have our sessions again next week. Last week, somebody sent me a question last week, and I think I was supposed to get some information on it, but I don't know. Can't remember what it was, but I think I have to go back to my messenger. Yeah. And again, you can ask your questions. Ask your questions. Feel free to ask your questions. I may not have all the answers. Yeah. I may not have all the questions. So, or all the answers. Sorry, not all the questions, but all the answers. But be there and feel free to ask away. All right. I might be able to contact somebody some way or the other in terms of getting the information to you. Yeah, so have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening. Yes, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening. God's blessings to each and every one of you guys. So those of you guys that are going to church and so on over the weekend, you know, continue to have that spiritual bliss. Yeah, always pray for your country. Yeah, it is not if they fail then only NDC supporters will fail or feel it. Yeah, it is important to still, you know, utter a word of prayer for ministers of government, prime minister, whoever it is. You know, it is important. Yeah, because we may not hate them, we may hate the policies that they produce. Yeah, but we cannot hate them. We cannot hate them. So feel free to utter a word of prayer. Prime Minister, I sometimes when I get a chance to utter a little prayer, I would definitely say, you know, pray for the Prime Minister and his cabinet, and so feel free to do that. It takes away nothing from you. It takes away nothing from you, and I know there are some good Christians here. Yeah. So until we meet again next Monday, God's blessings to each and every one of you guys. I love each and every one of you guys. God's blessings, and have yourself a wonderful evening. I'm yours truly, Rod James, for another wonderful class in session. Over.
Ding, ding, daylight. I was thinking what kind of song to write for the year 2001. Should I compose a nation building song or just blaze them politicians? But when I hear Pandey get 19 seats and he run and give a speech of victory, I tell myself something wrong, so I compose this song for kinky head people like me, because I don't understand what's really happening. For years me crooks and panther was busting we liver string. Well, I honestly believe the message was loud and clear, but the results from the elections proved to me stick breaking black man air. They don't hear. So don't expect me to jam your prime minister. No, don't tell me. I stopped drinking bush tea for your fever. I said no, don't tell me. Cause you ain't do it once, but you did it twice. Elections gone, is you choose Barabbas in front of Christ. So if you notice your little daughter bringing home a grand, because Camilla sent she to a school inside the Bitam, and when she bring home the baby father, the man like Mo Sexton Pandey, please don't stop me in the road to complain, cause I have nothing to say. My personal comments I will reserve. You got a government you deserve. To complain to me now, boy, you got some nerve. You got a government you deserve. try my best to put sense in black man head. The consequence I was not afraid. But when I see Keith and Daphne on TV, deep in my heart I felt betrayed. Cause I remember in 1998, I got chastised when I sing my song. But if I did like game, I woulda take out she name and deceitfully win me crown. UNC corrupt like hell, but Satmaraj wouldn't say so. As black man open me mouth, he find that manning should go. To these negative response from the black man, I'm not surprised, because I've come to one conclusion: today black man is his own demise. He ain't wise. So don't tell me nothing about the EBC.
No, don't tell me.
Because I know some of you vote for UNC.
I said no, don't tell me.
Don't tell me that they cancel the URP. And how you can't get work to maintain your family. So if you end up just like a criminal on the run, because all the promises that they make, they ain't keeping none. And civil servants can't get a back pay, plus you self can't get a 10 days. Please don't stop me in the road to complain, cause I wouldn't be amazed. My little knowledge now I must preserve.
You get a government you deserve.
To protest government now it take plenty nerve. You get a government you deserve. From the public I get my lyrics. You just give me inspiration. You just give me the strength and courage to slaughter them politicians. But when I see you supporting Pandey and condoning all that is wrong, it's like giving me bread and a full glass of milk, then you turn wrong and kick it down. Pandey call businessmen parasitic oligarchies. But today Jack Warner and do praise the good buddies. What excuse you could have to put him back in power? If you ask Errol McLeod, he'll tell you that man was done a fork-tongue cobra. Yes sir. Don't tell me Caroni going through hell.
No, don't tell me.
I hear what the man can drink, he planning to sell.
I said no, don't tell me.
Don't tell me nothing about the Incogen deal, and how they never give a count for the shipload of rice they steal. But if you notice, Carlos have a brand new Beamer, and he delayed the process till he come a minister. And you hear he got millions in cutback from the Miss Universe show as a gift. Please don't stop me and ask me to confirm, because I plead in the fifth. My little cacada I'll try to preserve.
You get a government you deserve.
Ask Manning how much money he left reserve. You get a government
you deserve.
Good. Always. Sugar.
Thank you. I feel sorry for loyal citizens who get caught up in the lacquer. But a fish always rotten from the head. Is Robbie and Pam put him there? Now Pandey get the taste of power. He feel that he's indispensable. Since I sing about his wife, he hate me for life, so they introduced clause 7. I didn't believe Kaisonians could be bought easily. I would like to know what's the price they pay for Gypsy. In my humble opinion, his actions was rather slack. I hope he don't say he bad lucky if a man end up riding he back down a track. So don't tell me about going back to school and learn.
No, don't tell me.
When my future was never your concern.
I said no, don't tell me.
Don't tell me nothing about being black conscious. When your behavior proved to me you're worse than Judas. So if the PNM end up winning succession. And you land in jail for signing false declaration. And in the night a big strong prisoner making sure you enjoy your stay. Don't bother to write me and tell me that try and contact Pandey, cause the motto now in jail is protect and serve.
You get a government you deserve.
To tell me you get raped but you got some nerve. You get a government you deserve.
Sugar! Alert!
I'm appealing to Mr. John Public. Please don't approach me at all. You have a way when government jam you. Is in my ear you want to ball. You had a chance to change wrong the system with your finger of democracy. Pandey promise you harm, but he go get your man for the next 5 years. Wait and see. I'll agree with you if you say the EBC cheat. But no voter pardon scam could give UNC 19 seat. Even though there was corruption, the margin was very small. If you people they do the right thing, Assam couldn't beat Eddie Hart at all. Not at all. Don't tell me 64 billion they steal.
No, don't tell me.
I don't want to hear about the airport deal.
No, don't tell me.
Don't tell me Dan Raj was a fugitive. And how he took 5 million when he went to New York to live. But if for carnival you see quiet tongue in the country, and he playing mass with Omar and Helen Humphrey, and you see quiet tongue hugging up Yetming while pointing at the Treasury. Don't tell me he showing him where to thief, cause that doesn't interest me. My little money I'll try to preserve.
You get a government you deserve.
So you have regrets now, but you got some nerve. You get a government
you deserve.
What I say? One more. Alert!
My friends make jokes, say Pandey looking for you, but the humor I can't afford. Cause I believe rebellion to a tyrant is truly obedience to God. So when you hear I disperse my venom, it's for me they just want to kill. But I am firm as a wall, they can't stop me at all, cause I doing the master's will. I believe was God and it wasn't Pandey who say, nobody are watching. When you go to vote, put your X by the balize. But like in the days of old, my people didn't take heed. And because now of disobedience, they eat the bread that the devil need. Because of greed. Don't tell me your roads get bigger pothole.
No, don't tell me.
When they run quick and pave, you felt your strike goal.
No, don't tell me.
Don't tell me about the crime rate in the country. Now that we have a drunkard in charge of security. But if one day you see people running for cover, and you hear Parliament was hijacked by Abubakar, and they say Ramdi I'll sign the paper to make Jack Warner Prime Minister, please don't stop me at no time to explain. Try and convince Abubakar